How's it going, folks? Rob here. Welcome back to the channel. Back on GT5, we're going to check out another car. I went through my extensive garage playing on the PC with the master mod. Got all the cars, as you can see, in premium, quite a few. Just a couple, 810 in standard. The last couple of videos I've done some standard cars. I thought I'd do one of the premium models, so I selected one at randomly, closed my eyes, scrolled through, and what I got was the Nismo 380RS Super Leggera from Amuse. Awesome little car. So we'll take it for a drive, but also what we're going to do is compare it later on with lap times and 0 to 101 mile drags with the car, essentially what it's based off, the actual 07 Z33 Fairlady. So let's do this. So I'm going to jump straight into this one. What have we got? We've got a 3.8 litre turbocharged engine. This one, of course, compared to the standard cars, had extensive bodywork done to it. Full kit on it. Now, I quite like the look of this car. It gives me a lot of Need for Speed Underground 2 vibes. The only thing I don't really like about it is that rear bumper. Now, Amuse extended it. Apparently, it gives quite a bit of downforce and stability at speed, but it just sticks out way too far. That is the only thing about this car that I don't like. But other than that, it looks pretty good. So we're going to take it for a drive. Now, the one thing they had to do, they dropped a bit of weight. I just read about this car. The roof and the doors have been completely remodeled from the original car. They're made out of dry carbon fiber to try and reduce a bit of weight. And we'll quickly go look at the stats compared to obviously this one's going to be a lot faster. It got a lot more power. It got 110 kilograms less. You got all that downforce from the body kit. Now, a lot of body kits don't really do anything, but this one actually does have an impact. So let's go pick a track at random. Now, with the master mod, we've got a lot of cool tracks from PS2, even some PS1 track era game tracks do work on here. But what can we go on today? What haven't I driven? Oh, there's quite a lot that I haven't driven on, but let's go with some of the original GT tracks. I've done some stuff on Grand Valley, done Autumn Ring. I've done that. I haven't done Midfield. Let's go to Midfield. This is an old PS2. The rendering is not going to look the greatest. Yeah, I haven't driven on this track in bloody years. I've forgotten all about it. Yep, let's go. I'll just do a couple laps, get a feel for this car and check out the old Midfield track. Oh, this is going back to the 90s, and it looks like it's from the 90s as well. Look at that. Fantastic. Well, it doesn't look great, but it's going to be good to reminisce. Let's see. Hopefully it loads. Oh my God. Because we're in a premium, we can actually sit inside the cabin. But I'm going to jump out so I can get the full scale of the car on this old track. Oh my God, the memories of... Oh, there's completely... You can see through the stand. It hasn't loaded up fully. The modders, they just ported it straight over. I believe they didn't... I don't think they actually did any rendering themselves. So, yeah, it hasn't loaded up. I tried loading up... was it the Pikes Peak hill climb the other day, and it just doesn't work at all. It's just a blank screen. Oh my God, I haven't gone around this track in years. Oh, I forgot this one existed. This is one of the really old school tracks, isn't it? Lots of races on this back in the day. Oh, how good is this? You still remember it all. That's the scary thing. And I got the racing line on, but still, I remember it so well. I love this. I know using this mod is cheating, getting all the cars and all that stuff, but I don't really care. It's good fun. It's just nice to not have to be grinding for 12 years just to get a bunch of cars and the money enough to purchase them. Fantastic. Ah, this is so good. I wish the ultimate dream would be all these classic tracks get fully rendered in GT7 or GT8. Well, we know that's never going to happen. At least we get to experience them here, and we get to laugh ourselves crazy. We look through the grandstand at the scenery behind. Ah, this is brilliant. All right, let's try and focus on the car, shall we? I did take the regular 350 for a drive earlier. I took it around the London track, and it's all right. We've got to expect it. It's a rear-wheel drive sports car. Coupe drives pretty good. This is a lot faster. We've got a lot more power, so like 60, 70 horsepower more, which is quite noticeable. But I think the big difference already I'm noticing, even when we're just mucking around the last lap, is the weight difference. 110 kilos is a lot of weight out of a car. And when you throw on extra horsepower and the downforce, it's a lot faster. I gotta say, it looks pretty good. I mean, it stands out, especially because we're playing in an old rendered track. So the visual, the detail of the car does look a little bit better. Oh, okay, overshot that a little bit. There we go. And we'll bring it onto the pit straight. It drives really well. There's no traction control on, so no wheel spin, not sliding around. I could have sworn playing GT5 all those years ago, the rear-wheel drive cars slid around a bit more. I'm pretty sure I've got all the assists off. Clearly not. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go have a quick look in comparison to show you just the difference between the two models, and then I'm going to take it to a track and start doing some hot lapping. Some proper hot lapping, not just mucking around like that. That's just the first initial impressions. I did drive it earlier, but it was just down here to get some high speed just to see what it's like off the line. And at this stage, I've only driven a bunch of really old cars. So as you can see, other than the top speed, it is the fastest thing I've driven down here. But when you compare it to the cars I've driven down here, it is understandable because I've started, out of curiosity, I've been driving the slowest, not saying they're dogs, but the classic cars in their own right. But in game, they're really, really slow. So what is it? Quarter mile. We'll compare the first two, the Fairlady and the Nismo. That's a little over a second faster down the quarter mile. So that is a massive difference. 1 mile drag. Again, that's nearly 2 seconds faster than the standard car. So yeah, 0 to 100 again. That's over a second, and just a 0 to 100, well, 0 to 60 miles an hour if you're not using the metric. The only difference really is top speed. The standard cars is a little bit faster, nearly 3 kilometers an hour faster, but that'll be also down to the fact that it got all that downforce. But around the track is going to be not going to make a difference. The only difference, other than all the bits and pieces of my brain just farted, is we got the extra power, the weight, downforce with the aero kit. Is the fact that the tires are a little bit better on the Nismo, whereas the standard one doesn't have. It's just got regular comfort tires. So yeah, got sport soft tires on the Nismo standard. So it's a little bit more grippy. So I'm going to take this to the Monaco track, do some hot lapping, then I'll show you the results, and then we'll compare the two cars around the track. Something tells me the Nismo is going to be just a little bit faster. All right, this is the first time me using the actual replay mode in this game, so we'll see how this goes. So I just gave this car in the regular Z33 10 laps each around here. I love Monaco. This is just the perfect handling technical track to really test out all the cars. I'd love if they brought it back into like a modern GT game, but obviously licensing kind of ruins everything. But around here, my God, these cars are just completely different. As you got to expect, the regular Z car is just a stock standard sports car. It's a pretty cool little car in its own right, but this is a fully modified, basically a track car in its own right. It is absolutely a pleasure to drive around here. Now, even with traction control fully off, tons of grip in this car. I was quite surprised. I was expecting, like I said earlier, I was expecting a little bit of the car to jiggle around on the exits, but you can get on the power pretty early. Through this tight little chicane here, not too bad. It took me a few laps to really get used to it. I'm starting to get used to the physics in this game. I was kind of cornering quite late, but I've learnt that if you get the balance right, you got to kind of turn in before you normally would, if that makes sense. But if you don't get it right, you do clip some walls. And this track is not forgiving because you're surrounded by those barriers. I just love it. It's a really good track to master handling, to separate the boys from the men, essentially. And it's nice after driving all those little shit heaps, something with a bit of horsepower, and it's a really fun car to drive around here. But when we compare the lap times, now this is quite surprising. I knew it was going to be faster than the regular Fairlady did, a 51.4, but to do a 43.3 around here, that is about 8 seconds faster. Now I was expecting 2, maybe 3 seconds, because there's not many long straights in this track. So it does all come down to handling, braking, and getting onto the power early and cleanly as possible. This absolutely destroyed it. 8 seconds. Now, if you compare that to the cars I have been driving around here, Subaru Briar Z, The Tommy Carrera ZZS did a 155, 156, but the really slow car, the Fiat 500, 2 minutes 53. At the moment, of all the cars I've driven, I've been starting with the lowest rated cars, and yeah, that I don't think anything's going to be slower than that around here. That was a very painful time. So it was nice to drive to Nismo. To get it under 150 was quite good in stock standard trim. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to, as much as I like playing GT7, I've got to admit I'm having more fun playing the old GT5 game with access to all the cars helps, all the money to tune them up. But yeah, I'm going to, I quite like driving around Monaco, so I'm going to start bringing random cars here and test them out, see what they like to drive, because a lot of these cars I can't quite remember, but I don't recall driving all of them back in the day, so finally get to do it thanks to the Master Mod. So until the next video, I'm Rob. Cheers for watching. I'll see you later.